If a block consists of one statement, keeping that statement inside curly braces is purely optional. If the block consists of more than one statement, we can keep those statements inside curly braces. So the expression what we write, normally it is a conditional statement, but the expression can be any type of statement which should not return a floating point value, must return an integer value. In future, we'll see the expression may also return an address value. Address we'll see in future. But for the timing, we'll see that the expression should return an integer value, not a floating point value. Speaker off karibo. Room on office. Okay. Now the block, as I told, consists of one statement or more the number of statements. If the block contains only one statement, no curly braces is required. You may put it, but if it consists of more than one statement, we must keep those statements inside curly braces. As I told, depending upon the return value of the expression, if it returns 0, they are treated as false. If it returns non-zero, -1, -2, 1, 2, it treated as true. And the expression turns out to be true, it executes the block, then go to the next statement. If it returns 0, treated as false, the block is not executed, directly it will go to the next statement. That happens in case of this. So if you have more number of statements in the block, we'll write inside curly braces. If we have only one statement, I can write down without putting the curly braces. Some examples Sarah has also discussed. I am not going to discuss any example on this. So let me switch over to if else. Now let's solve this problem. You all must be knowing heard of Houston Bridge. The diagram which I have drawn here basically is a Houston Bridge.
Yes, sir. Heard.
Yes, good. If the Houston Bridge is balanced, then the galvanometer will show 0 reflection. The galvanometer will show 0 reflection if the Houston Bridge is balanced.
So means R1 by R2 is equal
Yes,
to R3 by R4.
very good, very good, very good. The Houston Bridge is balanced provided P by Q equal to R by S or P by R equal to Q by S as per this diagram. If the bridge is not balanced, the bridge will have a variable resistance which we call as a varactor. We can change the value of the variable resistance to balance the bridge. Here, the resistance S is the varactor. By changing that value, you can also balance the bridge, and once it is balanced, the galvanometer will show 0 deflection. There will not be any current passing through B to D. So given a Houston Bridge, we would like to display whether the Houston Bridge is balanced or not. If it is not balanced, we'll find out the value of the resistance S to make it balanced. So how many variables I should have for this? Input variable should be 4 or more than that. Resistance of P, Q, R and S. So formula I have given here. If you have forgotten it, we declare all these 4 variables, then test whether P by Q equal to R by S, or I can make a test for P into S equal to R into Q. Anyone. If they are satisfied, we'll display balance, and if it is balanced, we'll return. If it is balanced, we'll return from the program. So we can return from the program from any point, not necessarily at the end putting a return statement. Return can be written anywhere, but if the return statement is executed, control will return back to the operating system, program execution will be completed. Variable we have declared PQRS. Assign values to this. You can assign values by writing scanf, printf statements. After assigning the value, we'll test the bridge is balanced or not. We'll write a condition like this: P into S equal to Q into R into Q. If they're equal, we'll print if the Wheatstone bridge is balanced. Return 0. Return 0 will not continue its execution. And if the statement is found to be false, will not enter here, will not return, will come here to find out the value of the resistance S to balance the bridge. We'll find out the value of S, which will be R into Q divided by P, and this value of S will balance the bridge. Is the question understood? The solution understood? Yes or no? With this, online students, you at least respond. This offline students.
Sir? Yes, sir.
समझ में आ रहा है?
Yes, sir.
समझ में आ रहा है? अर्घ्य, निर्माल्य?
Yes, sir. Sir, I have one question.
Yes, sir.
When the galvanometer equal to 0,
Yes.
that condition is no needed to return the if curly box. If G equal to 0 and P multiple R S equal to S equal to R multiple Q, नहीं लिखना होगा. Galvanometer.
No. Once it is Wheatstone bridge is balanced, galvanometer will show 0 deflection. That's all. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Now, write a program to print the largest between 3 numbers. In this case, we'll assume any one of the number, let's say numbers are available in the variable A, B, and C. We assume the first number A is the largest and keep it in the variable max. We assume the first variable is the largest, we keep it in the variable max. Then we compare max with B. When we compare max with B, if B is larger than max, then our max will become B. Otherwise, max will remain as it is. Again, I will test the max with C. If C is larger than max, we'll change max to C. Otherwise, max will be as it is. Store the first number A in the variable max. Assume that it is the largest one. Assume that. Go on comparing it to the next number B. Then also with C. Finally, we'll find out the largest. So we brought the first variable A to max. Understood it? Then we compare max with B. B is larger or previous max is larger?
So B.
B is larger. So we'll change max by value of B. Then we'll check it with C. Max is larger or C is larger? So max will display the value of max. I did it for 3 variables. You will do it for 4 variables. You will take one more variable A, B, C, D. So the program is very simple. Declare the variables. We declare A, B, C and max. Should we give value to all variable or only to A, B, C first? Inputs are all or A, B, C only? A, B, C. So we'll scan the 3 variables A, B and C. Assign max to A. Then we continue with the test. If B is greater than max, if B is greater than max, then max will be value of B. Otherwise, max will be as it is. Again, we compare C with max. If C is greater than max, max will be C over here. Otherwise, max will be as it is. And finally, we'll display the value of max over here. So I discussed for 3. You will write it for how many? 4. Very good. Then some brainstorming. Let me discuss about if statements. Look at the statement. I declare a variable A whose value is 0. If A less than 1, what would be printed? Only triple X or triple X and triple Y? Online students?
Only triple X.
Only triple X. No, it is true. If it is true, it will come to the first printf statement and it will exit to print also triple Y.
Yes,
it will
sir.
print triple X
print
and triple
both.
Y. Both.
Yes, sir, both, sir.
Yes. If I come to the right hand side, is it true or false? If it is false, it will only print 4 number of ones. Is it understood, everyone? Yes.
Yes.
Sir, can you
Yes,
explain
sir.
this part again?
Yes. Which part I'll explain? The first if or second
The
if.
triple X and triple Y part.
Tell me if less than 1 is equal to true. If less than 1 is equal to true, this will be true or false?
True होगा.
अरे जो
True.
true है. If it is true, it will enter to the block. Block contains one statement or more than one statement in this case. In this case, the block contains one statement or more than one statement.
One statement.
That statement will be executed. After executing the block, it will come out of the block. After coming out of the block, it will display, go to the next statement, which will also print triple Y. Yes or no? Understood it?
Yes, sir.
Very good. If you have not understood, try to understand the next one. I have written if 1. Expression can be a constant, but must be returning an integer value. If 1, this will be always true or not? If it is true,
Yes,
what
sir.
it will print? Inversity or kiit inversity? Both kiit then inversity.
Kiit University.
In the right hand side, I wrote if A. Value of A is 0 or 1. Value of A is 0. It returns 0. Treated as false. So it will print only. Very good.
University.
Very good. Very good, Satya. Ankit. Next question. I didn't write double equal. I wrote only A assigns to 1. A assigns to 1. The value of A will become 1 and the expression will return the right hand side value. The expression will return 1. If it returns 1, we treat it as true or false. If true means it will print computer science engineering.
True.
Come to the right hand side. B assigns to A plus plus. Now tell me B will be assigned to 0 or 1? 0. Write down on your copy.
0.
Very good. Very good answer. B will be assigned to 0. And after that A will become very good.
1.
The whole statement will return 0 or 1. 0. Very nice. 3 things I told. B will be assigned to 0. A will be assigned to whole statement will return. Very good. If the statement returns 0, is it treated as true or false? If it is
False.
false, it will only
False.
print engineering. Understood it? Are yes or no?
Yes.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
Once you have understood this, let's come to if-else statements. Look at this. In case of if statement, either the block is executed or the block is not executed.
Sir, can you repeat the previous slide?
No, I will not repeat. I cannot repeat every slide twice. I am asking students, they are telling yes, I am moving to the next slides. Okay. Now, try to understand here. If expression, in case of a if-else statement, it is either or. Either the true block gets executed or the false blocks, though mutual exclusive. Both the blocks will never be executed, either true blocks or false block, depending upon outcomes of the expressions. If the expression returns 0, it will execute the else part, which is basically a false block. If the expression returns non-zero, treated as true, it executes true block, doesn't execute false block, and come out of the if statements. Understood it or not? If I show an example, if the basic salary is less than 1500, then the HRA is 10%, DA is 40% of the basic salary. Else, if somebody basic salary is more than 1500, he will be getting a HRA of 500 and DA, he'll get the DA of 50%, okay, of the basic, no, outside. The DA will be 50% of the basic salary. And the gross salary is always basic salary plus HRA plus DA. Gross salary is calculated based upon the basic salary, HRA and DA. Basic salary is fixed. DA and HRA will vary depending upon the basic salary of a person. Understood it? So we want to solve. Very simple question. So The input is only the basic salary. The output will be the normally gross salary. The whole final output is gross salary. The intermediate variable which we will be using for this might be HRA and DA. Yes or no? We are interested, given the input as basic, I should be able to see the gross salary. The intermediate variables are HRA and DA over here. We'll declare the variables. You all know how to declare the variables. All variables have been declared. Let me say float. Which input we should supply to all these variables, to all variables, or only to basic salary? There are four variables. Would you like to give input to all variables or only one variable?
One
And
variable.
the variable I written is BS stands for basic variable in value. I have written correctly the scanf statement. After this, before I do the calculation for HR and DA, I must test whether the basic salary is less than 1500 or more than 1500. I wrote, if the basic salary is less than 1500, I'll calculate HRA, 10% of the basic, and DA is 40% of the basic. If it is greater than 1500 or greater than equal, the HRA will be 500 and DA will be 50% of the basics. Have you understood this? And after this, I'll do the addition. Gross salary equal to BS plus HRA plus DA, and that gives the gross salary of a person. Can you write down this program? We have another way of writing also. I don't want to use
Can
so
you
many
explain
variables.
again
Which one?
this part only, this question?
Which part? See, when I'm asking
So
everything.
again, so starting.
No, I cannot explain again from the beginning. Remember this. This is not the way. You will not listen after finishing, sir, again. No. Everywhere I'm asking, understood or not. I'm asking every step. Look at this. That we cannot. Look at this. Here I'm minimizing my variables. I could calculate the gross salary directly. BS plus BS into 10% plus BS into 40%. Is it understood the step? I got
Yes,
the
sir.
gross salary directly. Then else my gross salary is basic plus 500 plus 50%. I can reduce the use of the variables in this case. Understood it? Yes or no?
Yes.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. Bharti. Next question. Given 3 points in a 2 dimension, we will check whether it forms a triangle or not. There are many formulas available. Somebody may also find out area of a triangle. If area of a triangle is 0, it must be collinear. Yes or no? All these 3 points will become collinear. So we will apply another formula. When I say the points are there in 2 dimension, every point is represented by its coordinates, x coordinate and y coordinate value. Let me identify the x coordinate and y coordinate of all these 3 points as x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y3. Understood it? So how many variables I need to have to represent all these 3 points? 3 or 6? 6. For every point, value of x coordinate and value of x1, y1, x2, y2. Up to this, understood? Tell me yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Can you find out slope of all these 3 lines? Do you remember the formula of the slope? Yes. I can take 3 more variable m1, m2, m3 to find out the slope of these 3 lines. Have I written the formula correctly?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Bharti. We can find out this. After finding the slopes, if 2 of the slopes are equal, any 2 of the slopes are equal, will it constitute a triangle?
No, sir.
No,
Any
sir.
they become
Parallel line.
parallel
So
or
zero हो
collinear.
जाएगा.
Understood or not?
Yes, sir.
So, how many input you will make? How many computation you will make? M1,
6.
M2, M3. So inputs are 6. From these 6 inputs, you will compute M1, M2, M3. Do you have any problem in computing M1, M2, M3? And do remember, take floating point value, otherwise division 1 by 2 will be give 0 slope. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
To remember that. After finding this, no two lines should be parallel to make it a triangle. Yes or no? So I can check M1, M2 or M2, M3. If M1 is neither equal to M2 and M2 is not equal to M3 and M3 is not equal to M1, then it will constitute a triangle or not? Are yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Can you write down this program or not? Very simple. Inputs are x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y3. I wrote output. All are not outputs, are intermediate variables. M1, M2, M3. Declare variables, find out M1, M2, M3, then write down and display whether it constitutes a triangle or not. Second question.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, if the length are shorter, then it will not form the triangle. Sir, if x1 and
Yes, you apply that formula and do it. Okay. You apply that formula and do it.
Sir, basically, I'm trying to tell that this is not only the criteria to prove that it is will be a triangle or not.
Oh. Yes, yes. Very good, very good. What is your name?
Sir, Saurabh.
Saurabh, very good. Saurabh also told we must also check another criteria. Sum of two sides must also be greater. Sometimes it may happen their lines are not parallel but very small. That I have not checked. Lines are not parallel, but they are, sir. Very good, Saurabh. Thank you a lot. I have not thought of this. I have not thought of this. Many students have listened to these slides, but you are the first person to find out the mistake. From that also you can check to find out the distance between two places. 2 points are given. Can you find out the distance by using square root formula? Yes or no? So that also you can check. Very good, Saurabh. Thank you. Thank you, Saurabh. Then multiple else if statements. If, else if. If I discuss if, I again recap if else, then I am coming to if, else if. Here again, it's mutual exclusive. Any one of the block will be executed. Any one of the block will be executed. No more than one block will ever be executed. If the expression 1 is true, block 1 gets executed. Then will come out. If expression 1 is false, we execute expression 2. If that is true, execute block 2, else will come like this. So like this way, if none of the expressions are true, then finally we will come to the else and execute the false blocks. I have a small question here. Write a program to display whether a vehicle moves with a constant velocity or accelerated velocity or decelerated velocity. Write a program to display whether a vehicle moves with constant velocity or accelerated velocity or decelerated velocity. How do you know this? If the acceleration value is 0, the body moves with a constant velocity. If A is positive, if A is negative, understood or not? So take A as the input. If A equal to 0, printf, the vehicle moves with a constant velocity. Else if A greater than 0, the vehicle moves with the accelerated velocity. Else the vehicle moves with a decelerated velocity. Is it understood, Saurabh?
Sir,
Yeah, ठीक है कि नहीं?
sir, I had a doubt.
Yes.
Sir, if A equal to 0 is true,
Yes.
and it prints the vehicle moves with constant velocity, will the program check? Will the program?
No. Once it is true, let me tell. Once any of the expression is true from the beginning, any of the expression is true, other expression will not be evaluated. Understood it?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Very good.
And sir, if we want to check whether means as you said now कि
Yes,
sir
yes,
अगर first चीज check हो जाए तो फिर बाकी की चीजें वो check नहीं कर
नहीं
पर
check
अगर
होके true आया. John, don't twist my words. Check and it becomes true, then बाकी execute नहीं होगा. But if it is checks and found to be false, it comes to the next expression. Understood it?
yes sir.
Yes.
And
Then
sir, if
yes.
And sir, if we want to check all other things too, then we have to use
We
if
will
only
we'll
instead
do
of
it in
else.
different way. We'll do it in a different way. Don't worry for that.
Okay, sir.
Next question. Write a program to display the
So in the
position, size, and type of images formed by a concave mirror. Write down a program to display. Very interesting program. Here you will learn how to write application programs. People develops app. Let me tell a little bit about this. Write a program to display the position, size, and type of images formed by a concave mirror. Look at this. I copied this table from the book. I also know, it's not that I do not know this concave or convex mirror. The position of the object is at infinite. Then your image will be created at the focal length and size will be diminished, highly diminished, and all images in case of concave mirror are real and inverted. Real means we can put it on a piece of cotton. Inverted means in the upside downward direction. All images in case of concave mirror. But the image is beyond center of curvature and infinite. Not at infinite, but beyond center of curvature. Then the position of the image will occur at F and C. Size of the image will be again diminished, not so, but diminished. If it is placed at center of curvature, the image will be created at the same place at C only and small size. But if it is between C and F, it is created beyond C, curvature and infinite in between, it will be enlarged. And if it is placed at the focal length, image will be created at infinite. So suppose a physician, a physics person is asking to write a program for a concave mirror. If I enter the object position, the computer should show me the position of the image, size of the image, and nature of the image. That's the question. Develop an app. So I'll run this app to get this information once I enter the position of the image. How would I enter the position of the image? Do I need to write down at infinite? Do I need to write down beyond the center of curvature and see how to do this? Look at this. Input is basically the position of the object. PO, that is the only input. Output will display the position, size, and nature of the image. Then we'll declare the variable PO. PO is an integer variable. And the PO can be entered as not at infinite this. Can be entered as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But how can you remember 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? That's a big question. Whether 1 stands for infinite or center of curvature or focal length, how do you know this? For that, what he has already, look at this. I declared a PO as int. I have printed 5 printf statements. Press 1 if the object is at infinite. Press 2 if the object is beyond the center of curvature and infinite. Press 3 if the object is at center of curvature. See like this. Do you understand this or not? So this will be displayed on the screen. User will read it. Now he will press either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do remember, user may make a mistake in pressing 6 also. हो जाता है, yes, हो जाता है कभी कभी when we press, even if it has been told to not to press 6, 7, you may press also. We scan it. After scan it, look at this. If PO double equal to 1, display position, size, and nature of the image, what you will write down the printf statement from here. Position is at the focus. Again, this will be diminished like this. If this is not true, else if 2, you display all this. You write down up to 5. Again, I am writing else. Display invalid entry. Understood it or not? Even if user enters 986, it will show this invalid entry. Please enter again like this. I did it for concave mirror. Can you do it for convex mirror? Given a table like this, can you make it for a table is given? You copy the table from the book. Can you do it or not? Then do one thing.
Yes, sir.
Take another variable, take another variable, press an entry, 1 for concave mirror and 2 for convex mirrors. Then inside concave, you again press 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the position. Inside convex, you do this. Now my question here is, would you like to do it for mirror or lens also? If you want to do for lens, first press 1 for lens, press 2 for mirror. Again you go for lens for 1. In lens, press for concave, 1 for concave, 2 for. Same way you can do this or not. So it becomes a up.
सर एक ही क्वेश्चन में या फिर डिफरेंट
पहले तो यही क्वेश्चन में करो भारती, then you gradually go on developing, make a whole applications. Understood?
ओके सर
First you do this, then do for convex mirror, then merge it so that it will become a small up. सर अब देखिए हम बना दिया, आप क्या किताब देके बोल रहे हैं सर? क्या मिरर में जानना चाहते हैं, लेंस में जानना चाहते हैं? रन, आपको रन करो लेंस और मिरर, प्रेस 1 2, then concave or convex, press 1 or 2, and then press 1 2 3 4 5 for the position you press it, sir, it will give the answers. Is it understood? Tell me yes or no. So these are the ways of developing small apps. Next at this brainstorming, I'm not going to discuss. Next question. Sorry. Username equal to A, password equal to 1 2 3 4 5. Every time when we want to access an account, normally it asks us to give a username, then password. If both are valid, then we'll be allowed to access the account. Otherwise, we will not be allowed to access the accounts. Yes or no? Suppose the username is a single character and the password is an integer 1 2 3 4 5. Now this program will verify whether you have given correct login or password or not. So how many variables we do have? 2 variables, one for username, one for passwords. Username should be a character type, password should be integer types. Is it correct? Print type username, then password. Test for username if matching. Test for username if matching. If A double equal to A, sorry, if username is double equal to A, I'll enter to test the password. If this is false, I'll come to the else part. Username is incorrect, try again. Understood it? यहाँ पे try again का मतलब the program terminates, again you run the app. But I could also repeat it. Understood it? If the username is correct, password might be correct or wrong. So I'll test for the password. If the password is 1 2 3 4 5, login successful, else password is incorrect, try again. Is it understood? Tell me yes or no.
Yes, sir.
A very small program which
Sir.
many a time we see. Yes.
Sir, it will be used to unlock someone else's password or what?
No. We are testing how a login password is being checked correctly.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Understood? Very good. Logical operation, and you have already studied this. Or next question. Declaring grade of a student, first, second, and third, or fail grades. Subjects are physics, chemistry, maths, engineering, and biology. You will read all these 5 marks. Achha, tell me, 59.2 is first class or second class? No, 60 is first class. I fully agree. But what do you want? 59.2, should we declare first class or second class? Second class. First class kar dete hain, huh? Yes. See, whatever we want, we can do that. If you want first class, second class, I can make. But suppose somebody scores 59.2, should you not make it 60 and declare first class? Are yes or no? How to do
Yes,
this?
sir.
Yes, very good. Bharti, very good. How to do this? We'll read all these 5 variables. Suppose I read and divide it by 5, came out to be 59.2. Came out to be 59.2. If I take integer, it will become 60 or 59. 59, it will be declared as second class or not. So how to solve this problem?
So round up.
कैसे करेंगे?
So we can round
See
up
this
and check
situation.
it.
See this situation. What I did, I added PCMEB and I am adding 4.9. 4.9 divided by 5 is less than 1. Yes or no? Copy में लिखो. Write on your copy. Any 5 number divided by 5. Write down 5 number PCMEB. Write down P plus C plus M plus E plus B divided by 5 plus 0.9 whole plus 0.9. Have you written it? Suppose the division gives 32.2. Division gives 32.2 plus 0.9. Will it be 32 point something or 33 point something? 33. And 33 point something, if I take the integer equivalent, 33. Understood it? Suppose the division gives a value 59.1. Write down on your copy. Suppose physics plus chemistry plus mathematics plus English plus biology divided by 5 gives 59.1 plus 0.9. How much the value will be? 60 plus something, 60 or not? Then if I take the floor, it will be 60 or not?
Yes,
If
sir.
it- Yes. Bharti, if it is 59 plus 0.9, then I take the floor, it will become 59 or not? So do you understand the logic? Why did I add 4.9 and divide it by 5? So it will take the ceiling of the value or not? Understood? Then it's very simple. If percentage is greater than or equal to 60, printf first division. Else, if percentage is greater than or equal to 50, printf this. Else, if percentage is greater than or equal to 40, printf third division. Else fell. Is one way. Understood it? Arghya, Bharti Majumdar.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
In 4.91 part, I am still confused.
हाँ, still confused. वही तो मैं पूछ रहा हूँ इसीलिए. After dividing, suppose you are getting 0.1 or more. Suppose you are getting 0.1 or more. What should I add so that I will get the next value? 0.9 only. It can be copy में लिखो 0.1 or 0.2 or 0.3 dot 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 up to 0.9. If I add it with 0.9, it will cross that value or not? Then I will take the floor of that. Integer
Yes, I
equivalent.
mean, it is like a round off now, sir.
Yes, it's a upper round up. Very good answer, Abhinandan. Upper round up, not lower round up. Saurabh, समझ आया?
Sir, if everyone, sir, if a student got in PCMEB 100,
हाँ.
sir, in all subjects he got 100, then 500.
Doesn't matter. 0.9 is added, and if I take the integer equivalent, it will become 100 also. If I add 0.9, then I take the floor, it will become 100.
Okay, sir.
You have taken here 4.9.
Same thing. 4.9, then divided by 5, all the same or not?
So we're just incrementing and taking
Yes,
integer to
yes,
get the
yes.
term.
Or you can do divided by 5, then add plus 9.9. Anyway. I could also do it like this way. If percentage is greater than this, printf, else. I can do it like this way. There are multiple ways. If the range is greater than or equal to 50, less than 60, or the range is greater than or equal to 40, less than 50, like this. Okay. This is not required. Before I finish, another 10 minutes, go to statement. Very important. Now you write down, go to statement. Go to statement. Very important. Go to is a reserve word. Go to is a reserve word, single reserve word. In English, go and to. Yes or no? अंग्रेज में go to word है क्या? In English, there is a word go, there is a word to. Go to is not a word. But in C programming language, go to is a reserved word which can transfer control to any statement unconditionally. Go to can transfer control to any statement unconditionally. Suppose my statements are 1, 2, 3, 400. Copy में लिखो. Statements are 1, 2, 3, 400. Dot dot dot. Statements are 1, 2, 3, 400. If I'm executing statement 50 and there I write go to 76, go to space 76. Will it go to line number 51 or 76? 76. I could write down go to 26. It will go to line number. So label is nothing but a line number. Label is nothing but a label in C programming language is basically an identifier. The way area, radius, max, A, B, label is nothing but an identifiers. Look at the example. Suppose I have statement S1, S2, S3, but before S1 I have given a label colon. Label has nothing to do with the executions, but a statement has given a label. If I write down go to label with semicolon, after S1, S2, S3, when go to label is executed, where the control gets transferred? Label S1. Again, it will go to S1, S2, S3, then it will also go to label. Understood it? We many a time avoid using go to statements because if go to statement enters to inside a for loop, while loop or a function call, it may create some problems. It may create a side effect. The side effect might be created, write down this. Some side effect might be created when go to transfer controls. Do remember next week I am going to conduct one examination.
Sir, can you repeat fx might be?
Yes, yes, I am repeating. क्या बोला था बोल?
Some side effects might be.
Might occur. So when the go to transfer control, when the go to transfer control inside a function, comma, inside a loop, some side effect may occur. Once there is a side effect, results are unexpected. Okay. So that is why we avoid using it. But if I go for a proper use, absolutely there is no problem with go to statements. Now, the go to statements normally combined with if statement to make a loop in the programs. To make a loop in the program. Independently, we use go to statements, hardly we use go to statements. But go to statements is normally used with if statement to form a loop. Now to understand this, first program. Now, read out the program, enter score of 11 cricket players and find their average scores. How many scores will enter? 11 of 11 players IPL chal raha, isliye that's why I'm giving this example. Okay, all 11 players scores will be given for a match and we'll find out the average scores. Okay, I will not be declaring 11 variable to hold the value of each scores. I will not be declaring 11 variables. I will be declaring only one variable. Every time we will start giving the score of the player who entered at the first down, second down, third down, like this. Understood it? One variable will take it, use it, and then we'll take the value of the score of the next players. Understood it? Very good. So I have two variables, score and average. Average must be floating point. If you want, you can make it integer also. Score is floating point or integer? Score क्या है?
Integer.
Very good, integer.
Integer.
Very good, integer. I use some temporary variable I and sum score. I is basically a counter to tell me how many scores I have already taken. And sum score will be giving the sum of the scores of the players up to which I have already read. Understood? Initially sum score is 0 and my counter is 1. I'm going to read the score of the first player. Counter is 1. The declaration I have made, is it understood? Tell me yes or no. Int
Yes,
score, sum score equal to 0, I equal to 1, I will be used as a counter, sum score will be storing the sum of all scores. Initially it is 0,
Sir,
when I have not. Yes.
Sir, I क्या है इधर?
I is a counter which will count how many scores I have already read. I equal to 1 means I'm going to read the first player scores. When I became 2, I'm going to read the second player scores.
Second.
Understood, Bharti?
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Sir, it is not necessary to declare I means beforehand.
Why? I'm declaring it. I equal to 1. Okay. Now let's see. First, I'll read the player. I used a label name is repeat. Name of the label is repeat. I'll read the player. Have you understood the printf scanf statement? Tell me yes or no. Enter the score of the next player number 1. Then I am using scanf ampersand score. Now we'll do a computation after reading. Sum of the score equal to sum of the score plus score. Understood this to everyone? Tell me yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Arjun understood. Bhuras, Surya understood or not? Abhinandan?
Yes, sir.
अरे हाँ बोलो.
Yes, sir.
Abhigyan, Aditya, Om Das.
Yes, sir.
Yes. After adding it, we have added. Will you stop it or you will go to read the next score? For next score, I'll repeat. And I will increase my by 1.
Can I write this go to repeat statement in the next line after it?
Yes, absolutely no problem. Absolutely no problem. You can write on if here, go to repeat here.
Okay, sir.
Go to repeat. So when I repeat again, my I value will be showing here 1 or 2. I'll read the next score, add it, again I will become 3. In this way, when I will become 12, when I will become 12, will I go to repeat or come out of this? Will I come out? If I come out, I'll come to the average score equal to sum of the score divided by 11.0. Why did I make 11.0? Because it will go for a floating point division or integer division.
Floating point.
Very good. Then I'll display the scores. Understood it?
Yes, sir.
Understood it? Mansi Kumari understood? Arghya
Yes, sir.
understood? Very good.
Yes, sir.
Next question. Next question. Enter score of 11 cricket players and count the number of players scored century in 2020. Only IPL. Okay, not. I'm not considering test match. Number of players scored century. Discard the score if you enter negative. Sometimes it happens. While entering, we enter negative score. That could be added or not. Should we include it or discard it? That may happen by mistake. I'll take one additional variable here. The name of the variable is count. This count will count. No doubt. The count will count number of century players who have scored century. So initially value of count should be 5 or 0. Tell me up to this is understood or not? Int score I equal to 1, count equal to 0. Very good. Again, I use a different word here. Rather than repeat, I use a label as again. मैं again repeat use करता हूँ, समझ में आ जाएगा, ठीक है? Now read the scores. Have you understood these first two statements? Yes or no?
Sir,
Yes,
we
sir.
can use repeat also.
Yes, repeat. You can use Mansi, your name, Bharti, your name. Why repeat?
Okay, sir. Okay,
You
sir.
write Bharti, another case Majumdar, another Mansi, another Arghya. ये तो नाम ही है. Okay. Now should I add it or I should? Again I'll write your name. What is your name? Samanthan I'll write. No problem. Okay. Non-executable statements, but wherever it is there, I'll transfer. Very good. So now understood it. If score is less than 0, should I continue or I will go to again? I'll discard this. My I should not be increased. I'm discarding this. Understood this? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Very good. If it is positive, dot 0, I'll write down. If score is greater than or equal to 100, I'll increase my count by 1 or not. Then I'll increase I plus plus. If I less than or equal to 100, go to 11, go to again or not. Then finally I'll print the total number of count. Understood it? More interestingly, can I do this? Instead of writing score greater than or equal to 100, can I write down score by 100? If score is 90, write down on your copy, if score is 90, what would be score by 100? 0. 0 means true or false. If it is false, I'll come out or not. If score is 102, write down. If score is 102, score by 100 is 1. True. So it will be count plus plus. Interesting or not?
Yes, sir.
और भी interesting करते हैं. Without using if. Count equal to count plus score by 100. Will it work in test match? Test में काम नहीं करेगा. Somebody may score 300, 3 will be added. Yes sir, only 20 के लिए इसलिए मैं बोल दिया. Can I write like this? Count equal to count plus score by 100 or not? Without using if statement. Can I write that like this? If it is greater than or equal to 100, return 1, otherwise 0. Understood? Okay. So write down all these programs for today's class. Next day I'll start discussing loops and conditional operators. Yes.
So that count plus equals to score. So that line.
यही समझ में आया ना?
Yes, sir, this I understood, sir.
Then
Yes, sir.
is it understood?
Yes, sir. Divided by 100 also understood.
Is it understood?
No, sir. This line count plus equals to.
Abhinandan, write down another copy. 90 divided by 100. What is the value?
So it will give 0.
0 will be added. No century. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Write down score equal to 105.
So it will give 1.
So 1 will be added. Understood or not?
Okay. Yes,
आया
sir.
अभिनंदन समझ में?
Yes, sir.
वही चीज इसमें भी आएगा. ठीक है?
Sir, it won't be count plus plus.
No, you can make count plus plus. I already did count plus plus. You can do this.
Yes, sir.
It is count is equal to count plus.
Yes, this is count equal to count plus.
Okay.
Either count equal to count plus 0 or count plus 1.
It's adding
Yes.
plus 1. Just adding.
Okay.
Yes, adding.
Got it, sir.
Yes. So now online students, you join.